Can a foreign Pinoy still inherit property from his relatives? Now, what if the title to the property is missing or nawawala? What can he do?
Marami na tayong mga Pinoy na nag-abroad. Doon na tumira, gumawa na ng maayos na buhay. Marami sa kanila, doon na rin nagka-anak. Ngayon, doon na rin sila nabubuhay. Pero paano na yung mga mamanahin nila dito sa kamag-anak nila dito sa Pilipinas? Dito naiwan kasi yung properties. And ito po yung tanong ng isa sa mga viewers natin, si Paean S. And she writes,
Yan. I am not a Filipino citizen. I inherited a house and lot in Quezon City, Philippines. There was a time when my dad gave half the inheritance to my aunt. My aunt was single and has passed away. We lost the title. We lost the land title. To whom does the inheritance belong to? Will we be able to claim the whole title? What are the procedures to get our parents' inheritance? Yan, thank you so much, Paean. But before that, we would like to give a shout out to one of our followers who said, ito, woo! Loving the seminar. Having fun while learning. Thank you, Attorney Zag, for all the knowledge that you shared with us. This is a must. Capital M-U-S-T. Recommend 100%. And this is from Christine Joy Samiliano.
yes, Christine attended our workshop on employee discipline. So I'm very happy that Christine, you found it very useful. I also enjoyed delivering that. So please keep watching and sharing our videos. That goes for everyone as well. And if you're finding our content helpful, a quick like and subscribe will be appreciated. Now, let's get on with the show.
Your land or have issues transferring the properties of a loved one who passed away, we have something that can help. We recorded an FAQ session where we answered the most common questions related to the real property transfers and estate settlement. You can access the recording by going to www.legalaccess.ph and choosing the transferring land or estate settlement topics there.
Welcome to Legal Guide Philippines, where we simplify the law to help you make better choices. I'm Attorney Erwin Zagala and I'm with my partner,
Attorney Ramon Ramirez. Okay, so today we will be discussing foreign Pinoys. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng foreign Pinoys?
wala dito.
Wala dito.
Wala dito.
Okay, so foreign Pinoys and inheriting property. And also, additionally, we're going to discuss anong gagawin natin if they can't find the title. Yan, nawawala ang titulo. Okay.
So, multi-layered pala ang usapan natin
Yes,
this
oo.
episode, Attorney Ramon. Ang daming problema.
Ang daming problema.
Susolve.
Or we will talk about. So, okay, let's start with context setting. So, what's happening here to our reader, si Paean S. No? So Paean, sabi niya, she is a non-Filipino. So, I'm not a Filipino, sabi niya. So, not Pinoy. So malamang ang nangyari here is she's probably either a naturalized foreigner, no? So Pinoy siya na nag-take ng oath somewhere else and then doon na siya citizen, or maybe she was already born in another country altogether.
Ito yung foreign Pinoy.
Yun, Pinoy pero iba ang nationality. Yan, okay. Now this is very normal. Many of our Filipino brothers and sisters, of course, in search of a better life, they go abroad. So lahat tayo, I think we can all agree, lahat tayo may kamag-anak, let's say, sa US. Kahit sinong Pilipino na makilala mo, meron kamag-anak yan sa US. No?
Meron balikbayan box.
Yes!
Na mabango.
And malamang, mabango. And malamang, saan sila yung mga kamag-anak natin?
Cali yan.
Normally, California yan. Oo, pwedeng north or south. Yan. Pero kadalasan naman. Hindi naman all. No? Ayan, tapos umuwi yan po minsan-minsan. Yung mga kamag-anak natin sa galing estate. No? And then, ano yan?
May twang.
May twang.
May twang.
Yan. Oo, may twang. And makakarinig ka ng mga, walang ganyan sa States.
Yan!
And it's this, I think everybody can relate, no? And so actually even mga pinsan natin posibleng mga doon na pinanganak, no? They have really so for all intents and purposes they're already foreigners, no? And wala na talaga silang roots sa Pilipinas except for their blood relations here.
Yes.
No? It's very possible. And I think ito yung situation ni Paean, no? I think she grew up already abroad and she's no longer not a lot of ties already to the Philippines except for ito na nga, blood relatives na nandito pa. and possible in mga inheritance. Ayan. Okay, so what happened to Paean? Looks like her auntie died, no? So mukhang may property yung auntie niya. She mentioned something about her dad giving half of the inheritance to her auntie. But what I think the bottom line is here is napunta kay auntie lahat, and now namatay si auntie, can she inherit?
Yes.
Tama. Yun ang tanong, no? So, let's go to our first point. Can Paean, who is a foreigner, of Filipino blood, but essentially a foreigner, can she inherit land in the Philippines? Okay. So,
Attorney Ramon, kung
Yes.
sakaling kumonsulta si Paean right in front of you, ano yung unang itatanong mo? What is the first thing that you need to clarify?
I need to
Entrance.
clarify kung saan siya citizen. Okay? So, citizen ka ba of what country? No?
And why is that important, Attorney Ramon? What is the general rule?
Yes. So, because the general rule when it comes to inheritance, owning
Ownership.
land, no? Mga foreigners hindi pwede, no? Foreigners, the general rule is the foreigners cannot own land in the Philippines. So, since we asked Paean, are you a Filipino or non-Filipino? Sabi niya, not Filipino. Ay, okay. The general rule is you can't own land in the Philippines, no? So, kung may lupa si auntie, that might be a problem. However, there's an exception, Attorney Erwin.
Yan.
Yeah,
okay.
so and the exception is that a foreigner, if the foreigner obtains a property through hereditary succession, pwede yun.
So kahit foreigner, Attorney Ramon, kapag nakapagmana na property here in the Philippines, pwede na.
Yeah, okay.
gets.
So general rule, foreigner pwede mag-own ng land.
No.
But pag minana niya, posible? Yes, pwede.
That makes sense kasi hindi naman pwedeng may mana ka, di ba? Tapos, hindi ka na Pilipino eh. So,
hindi pwede.
Sa state na yan. Di ba? Parang doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so and this is actually allowed, not just by statute or by mga RA, Republic Act. This is actually allowed by our Constitution. Now, I think our viewers would like to you want me to read it?
Go.
Okay, sige. So actually this is from Article 12, Section 7 of our Constitution.
Attorney Basa.
Yes.
Pasok.
Okay. No, so sabi nga in Article 12, Section 7 of the Constitution, 1987 Constitution, save in cases of hereditary succession, no private lands shall be transferred or conveyed except to individuals, corporations, or associations qualified to acquire or hold lands of the public domain. Yan. So, ang very, very important here, thank you, Attorney Basa, no? So, very important here is that sabi niya, in cases of hereditary succession. Yan. So, pwede. Okay?
Lusot na lusot.
Lusot na lusot. So, let's go back to Paean. So, pwede bang mag-inherit ng land si Paean from her auntie who is a Filipino? Yes. Because the Constitution says yes. Okay, now that we've answered that, let's go naman to our second point. Okay, so, can Paean inherit naman from her aunt? Siya ba ang tamang person na mag-inherit sa auntie niya?
Kasi kahit na foreigner, pwede mag-inherit. So, ang tanong na ngayon, karapat dapat ka bang mag-inherit?
Yes. Is she the proper person to inherit? Okay. So, dito naman ngayon, papasok yung ating concepts. And I think we've had a lot already of episodes on this and even articles. But again, because tinanong ni Paean, we're going to discuss it again. Dito papasok yung concept natin of intestate succession. And who are the relatives who will inherit under intestate succession? But before that, ano ba yung intestate succession?
Sounds complicated.
Sounds complicated. So, again, recap na to. This is a review for all those who have been watching us before. So, meron tayong dalawang klaseng succession. Okay? And when you say succession, yung rules natin sa mga manahan, di ba? Inheritance, yan. We call that succession. Sino yung magsasucceed or yung magsasucceed ng mga properties ng mga namatay. No? So, we have two kinds. We have testamentary succession and intestate succession. So, ano muna yung testamentary? Testamentary succession, or sometimes you call it testate, ito yung succession where meron tayong tinatawag na will. Okay, will. Ano ba? Last will and testament.
May papel.
May
sinusundan.
papel. Merong huling kasulatan. At may mga utos yung sa
Huling habilin.
Yan. Okay. No, so, pag merong will, pag namatay yung ating kamag-anak and meron siyang will, then ang tinatawag yung testamentary succession. Ang susundin natin doon is kung ano yung mga nakalagay sa will. No? In general, no? Again, there's a lot of discussion of how this works. Pero in general, kung ano yung nakasulat doon sa will, yun ang susundan natin. Okay? Itong lupa ko sa Laguna, gusto ko kay Bunso. Yan. Itong lupa sa Cavite, gusto ko sa misis ko. Yan.
If there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. All right. So that's testamentary succession, no? The other kind is what we call yung intestate succession. Yan ang ibig sabihin ng intestate is walang sulat.
Okay.
Walang testate.
Oo, kasi ibig sabihin, wala. Testate, walang kasulatan.
Yes.
So these are the rules that will apply kung sakaling walang will. So, saan mo kukunin yung rules, no, Attorney Ramon?
Ngayon, naisip natin ng mga naisip ng mga taga-gawa ng batas natin yan, no? Then, makukuha natin yung rules na yan sa civil code. No? So, sa ating new civil code. So, in our law, in our civil code, meron ng napakaraming rules na yan kung paano magmamana yung mga magkakamag-anak.
One way of thinking about it, sinabi ng mga lawmakers, ayaw nyo gumawa ng will, kami gagawa ng default will for everyone. So kung okay naman sa inyo itong default will, no need to make a will. Ito na lang ang susundin ninyo.
Correct. So tama yun, no? So default, yun ang default rules, no? And I think everybody can agree na in the Philippines, mas madalas ang default or ang intestate kaysa sa yung will, no? Kasi for many reasons, no? For many reasons. Basta mas madalas, at least in my experience, mas marami tayong sinesettle na intestate. Tama ba?
Bihira yung may will.
Yes.
Diba?
Although we have a lot of clients who make wills, no?
Yes.
Usually yung settlement intestate.
No, I'm talking about within, if you compare it to the general population, sobrang bihirang-bihira yan.
Alright, so those are the two kinds, so intestate and testamentary. Meron din tayong concept na tinatawag na compulsory heirs. Ano naman yung mga compulsory heirs, attorney?
Parang compulsory, pinilit.
Pinilit. Ibig sabihin, wala kayong choice.
Kung hindi maging heir.
Dapat heirs yung mga yan.
Yes.
Parang gano'n, no? You are compelled na sila ay maging heirs. And sino to? Normally, these are your descendants. Okay? Your spouse, pwede rin, or even your ascendants. Okay, so ano ba yung mga descendants? Descendants, ito yung line mo, no, pababa. No? So, kunwari ako, no, my descendants are my children. Yan, line yan, pababa sa akin yan. Ano pa ang pababa? Another descendant? Apo. No? Diretso yan. Line pababa. No? The line pababa. Sino mga ascendants?
Pataas.
Kung bababa ang descendants, pataas. No? So, ascendants, ang una kong ascendant ay yung aking mga magulang. No? So, meron akong ascendant na tatay, nanay. Yan. And other ascendants ko is mga lolo't lola ko. Both from the maternal side and the paternal side or father side. Yan. Okay. And then you have your surviving spouse. No? So, yung spouse. So, these guys, in estate or in succession law, sila yung mga tinatawag nating Attorney Erwin, mga VIP.
Yes.
Very important persons.
At
no?
bakit tinatawag na VIP, Attorney?
Yun nga. Kasi normally, sila ang compulsory heir, sila yung, kahit anong mangyari, may will ka or wala, hindi sila pwedeng mawalan ng mana.
VIP ang trato.
VIP na VIP. Yan. Okay. So, however, in intestate succession, pero paano yung ibang kamag-anak? Ang pinag-usapan lang natin, mga anak,
Paano yung mga kapatid?
Exactly. Kapatid, pinsan, tito, tita, di ba? Marami tayong mga tito, tita, di ba? So, pagkasama nyo sa reunion, yung taba mo. Usually, mga tita yan, di ba? So, what about them? Are they part of the intestate succession? Now, yes, very much. No? Very much. What you call these mga tito, tita, these are called yung collateral relatives or collateral blood relatives. So collateral kasi hindi sila kasama sa straight line pataas or pababa, pero kamag-anak pa rin sila. No? So, andun sila around. No? I think that's how I would like to see it. No? Okay, so now, who are the collateral relatives? Sabi ko nga, sila yung mga kamag-anak niyo pa rin, pero hindi ascendant or descendant. Okay? A good way to think about it is you look at your common ancestor.
Yes.
Okay, so kunwari, kapatid ko, collateral ba yun or hindi?
Collateral.
Collateral yun. And sino ang common ancestor namin?
Pataas.
Aakyat muna ako sa tatay ko or sa nanay ko, di ba? And then pababa sa kanya.
Yeah.
So meron kaming common ancestor, so he is my collateral blood relatives. Ganun din, mga pinsan, no? Or tito muna, di ba? How do I determine kung ako, teka.
May props tayo na yan.
Okay. So,
ito lang.
Yan. So, kung ako ito, si Ramon, di ba? Kita ba?
Kita.
Yan. Kung ako si Ramon,
Napaka-high-tech ng
ito
setup
yung tatay
natin.
ko. Okay, si father.
Okay.
Di ba? Sino ang hinahanap mo? Tito. Tita. So, si father, kung wari, brother, yan, yung brother, yung brother ng father ko, paano ko naging kamag-anak yan? Aakyat pa kami isa. Let's say, sa lolo ko. Di ba? And then, pa ganyan. No? So, ilang degree ko siyang kamag-anak? 1, 2, 3.
Wait, linawin natin na term naman, naguguluhan yung ibang tao.
Sige.
Okay. Ang pagbilang ng degree, depende sa linya. So,
Okay.
kung kunwari, from Ramon, papunta sa brother, ganito yan. 1, 2, 3. Ganun ang bilang dyan. Iba magbilang ang abogado.
Yeah, iba sa civil code natin. No? Kailangan mapunta muna tayo sa common ancestor. Yan. So, pero kung brother ko naman, wari, kapatid ko dito, si David, pangalan niya, no? O, paano ko siya naging kamag-anak? Hindi diretso.
Hahanapan mo ng linya.
Hanapan mo na common ancestor. Ang una is yung tatay. Okay? And then, sa kanya. So, ilang kami? 1, 2,
1, 2.
Yan. So, medyo ganon, no? So, ganon ang natin. No? So, under intestate succession, yung mga kamag-anak natin, pwedeng mag-inherit up to yung 5th degree of consanguinity.
Oo, yung talon-talon. Okay.
Yeah, di ba yung binilang natin? 1, 2, 3, up to 5. Pwede yan. They can inherit. Okay.
So, Attorney Ramon, kapag 6th degree onwards, stranger na sila.
Yes.
In terms of
as far as succession is concerned. Okay, so there's just some rules when it comes to intestate succession. So the nearer degree will eliminate yung mga farther. So kung wari, in our example, my brother is 2 degrees from me. Okay? But my uncle is 3 degrees from me. Di ba? So in case mamatay ako, at ang naiiwan na lang is yung brother ko at yung uncle ko, sino ang mas bibigyan ng importansya?
Yung mas malapit.
Yung mas malapit, yung 2 degrees, yung brother ko. Yan. So, those are some rules in intestate, no?
Actually, if they want to learn more about that, ang dami nating mga videos na nilabas na before, and we even have workshops on that. You can always check that out in our website.
Yes. Ayan. Okay. So, ayun. It's important na that you understand that, no? So, just some other rules is that pag kung wari, dalawa yung kapatid ko, sila lang ang natira, they will inherit in equal shares. No? So guys,
para wala magtampo.
Yes. So there's so many rules, no? There's so many rules in intestate succession. And definitely, at least in this situation, it looks like pamangkin si Paean. No? So if pamangkin si Paean, she is definitely a collateral blood relative ni auntie. And since si auntie wala siyang spouse, wala rin siyang mga anak, and I assume namatay na rin yung yung parents niya, no? Posible nga mag-inherit si Paean sa ang tanong na lang is merong bang may kapatid ba si auntie nung namatay siya?
So, if this was a real case, Attorney Ramon, medyo magi-interview tayo to be able to eliminate all of the other possibilities. As of this time, undetermined pa.
Yes.
Kasi may kulang
there's
pa
so many questions that we need to ask. But the answer is it's possible for her to inherit from her auntie. Okay? So yun. Okay, so next naman natin pag-uusapan, since it's clear na that Paean can definitely inherit from her tita.
It's possible.
Possible. because she is possibly a collateral blood relative na hindi naman ma-disqualify, then looks like okay tayo.
May isa pa natitirang problema.
Oh, anong problema?
Di ba nawawala yung titulo?
O yun nga. Okay, so next natin pag-uusapan is paano ang gagawin natin since hindi rin mahanap ni Paean yung titulo ng pinagmanahan niya.
Yes. And we'll be back after this short break.
If the title is lost, Attorney Erwin, anong kailangan natin gawin?
Cry.
Cry!
And we're back.
Okay, so what will we do now if the title is lost, Attorney Erwin? Anong kailangan natin gawin?
Cry.
Cry! No, there's so many ways. No? There's so many ways. Now, actually, we want to make a distinction. Anong ibig sabihin ng nawawala yung titulo?
That's a good point.
Yes. So, when you tell us anong nawawala po yung titulo, ang question namin is, alin pong titulo yung nawawala? Okay? Kasi yung sa mga paper titles kasi natin, may dalawang klase. Meron yung owner's duplicate copy, and meron ding copy yung ating gobyerno, yung Register of Deeds. No? So, ang tanong, alin po ba yung nawawala? No? If ang nawawala is yung owner's duplicate copy, ang tawag po natin sa procedure para ma-issuehan tayo ulit ng owner's duplicate copy is anong tawag yan?
Reissuance of title.
Yes, reissuance of title. And that's under, I think, presidential PD pa, no? PD 1529, no? PD 1529, yun yung procedures no. So pag nawawala yung kopya nyo or owner's copy of the title, you will need to undergo a procedure, a legal procedure called reissuance of title, and under the rules in PD 1529, and it is generally a court proceeding.
Yes.
No? So kailangan nyo po ng abogado for the reissuance of a title.
Actually, Attorney Ron, tingin ko makakatulong. We already did a video on this.
Yes.
And it's
recently.
available. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's under legal guide, but definitely if you need help with this, you guys can also go to legalaccess.ph, and I think it's one of the options there.
Nice.
And, it's a free FAQ video on this, so feel free kung sakaling ito po yung problema ninyo.
Ayun. Nice. Now, if ang nawawala naman is yung title ng gobyerno, and this is possible, like some time back, I think in Quezon City, yung Register of Deeds ng Quezon City nasunog. So marami pong mga titulo na nasunog. And so it's very possible that the government's copy of the title is gone. No? So what happens there, and ang procedure naman natin dyan, hindi na reissuance ang tawag dyan. Ang tawag na po natin dyan is reconstitution of the title.
So kung mapapansin mo, magkaiba yung terms eh. Reissuance, o i-issuehan kita uli ng bago.
Yes.
Reconstitution, bubuo uli tayo ng bago from scratch.
Yes. Kasi I would like to imagine that the Register of Deeds copy, the government copy, is like the control copy kasi.
That's
diba?
true.
So parang kailangan siya yung hindi natitinag eh.
Master copy.
Yes. Oo. So that's very important na ma-reconstitute ang title pag yun ang nasira, no? Yung government's copy. Okay? So those are the two ways in which we can pwede nating na magawa ng paraan for Paean pag nawala yung titulo.
So it's not hopeless.
Yes.
May proseso naman that can help you. However, medyo may trabaho involved because you have to go through the court. But it's not hopeless.
Yes. Ayun. Last is sabi niya, sige, so what are we going to do? Ano na what's the first step? How do we Well, basically we need to distribute the estate, no? And how do we do that? We need to settle the estate. So there are two general kinds of estate settlement. The first is yung judicial settlement of estate. Kailan natin ginagawa yung judicial settlement of estate? We do this when kuwari may will, testamentary, or hindi magkasundo yung mga heirs, no? Yung mga mag-inherit. That's where we do a judicial settlement of estate. Now, if nagkakasundo naman yung mga heirs and wala namang issue, then we may possibly do an extrajudicial settlement of estate.
That means out of court.
Kasi
nag-usap na sila. Okay
yes,
sila.
Correct. So yung judicial is in court, extrajudicial out of court. Generally, mas mabilis ang extrajudicial kasi nga out of court. No, when we involve the court and there are a lot of rules and procedures, definitely yung time within which to do it talaga mag-i-increase.
Yes.
No? So, those are the two ways in which we can proceed in transferring the properties to Paean.
Mhm.
Alright? So, Attorney Erwin, marami tayong napag-usapan. No? Marami tayong napag-usapan today. And ano bang una natin napag-usapan? Ang tanong ni Paean is, can she inherit?
Mhm.
Can she inherit? And the answer is,
It's possible.
yes. Yes, even if she's a foreigner, yes.
Okay.
Oo.
Oo.
Kasi through hereditary or through succession naman ang
Yes.
kanyang inheritance, no? But can she inherit from auntie? Posibleng yes, no? Posibleng yes. We need to interview her more, but yes, posibleng yes, no? Because she is a collateral blood relative.
Next, pinag-usapan yung titulong nawawala.
Titulong nawawala, anong
So
gagawin?
we gave some remedies. It's either reissuance or reconstitution of title.
Yes, and lastly, how do we transfer the property to her? We go through the estate settlement process. We either go through a judicial settlement of the estate of auntie or an extrajudicial settlement of the estate of si auntie.
Yeah.
Ayan! For most of you, this video was more than enough. And if it makes your life easier, then, of course, you're welcome. But there are those of you who will watch this episode and then end up asking more questions, such as, Attorney, how do we determine what to put in the estate? Or how do we determine sino ang heirs? Who are the heirs? Or, Attorney, what's the complete process of transferring the properties and settling the estate? Now, if that's you, then we invite you to check out our estate settlement guide. Okay? It's a workshop, not a book, guys. It's a workshop. Wherein, as little as 1 hour, we give a crash course on succession law and a general roadmap of the entire estate settlement framework. Now, with this guide, you will know exactly where you are in the process, regardless of whether you're doing it on your own or if you have hired someone to assist you. Now, you can access this workshop at info.legalguide.ph/estate today. Now, one last thing, guys. There are definitely a lot of former Filipinos or balikbayans or children of balikbayans who still have interest in the Philippines. But so many of them avoid or neglect what needs to be done because many reasons. Life gets in the way, they don't know where to start, they don't know who to ask, or they no longer have people that they can trust here, to help them. Now, this is why we started Legal Guide, and this is why we are open to making your questions into episodes so that you can start asking the right questions. And more often than not, the people who know the answers to those questions are the right people to help you. So wasn't that simple? Now go make better choices.